Well, it's definitely been an unconventional convention, which came to a close last night with Joe Biden taking center stage to officially accept the Democratic nomination for president.
If you entrust me with the presidency, I will draw on the best of us, not the worst. I will be an ally of the light, not the darkness. It's time for us, for we the people, to come together. And make no mistake, united we can and will overcome this season of darkness in America.
All right, here with a look at the final day of the 2020 Democratic National Convention is political contributor Tara Dowdell. Good morning. Thanks for being with us, Tara.
Good morning. Thank you.
Okay, so undoubtedly, Biden's acceptance speech last night, one of the most important of his life. What did you think about it, though? How well did he do?
I think it was pitch perfect because Joe Biden is at his best when he tells his personal story, how he overcame tragedy, and how that tragedy, how that adversity that he overcame and persevered informs his policies, informs his leadership. And that's what he did last night. He reintroduced himself to the American public. I'm sure there are people who forgot his story and all of the things that he's accomplished in his career, both before politics and after politics as a public defender, how he's fought for basically the most vulnerable among us, and how he had endured so much tragedy. First, his wife and his daughter dying in that horrible car accident, and then his son, Beau Biden. And so as people are suffering in this country with COVID, I think that's something that people can really connect to.
So that made him relatable, is what you're saying?
Yes.
All right.
All right, let's talk about Cory Booker. It was an interesting moment. He talked with a lot of the opponents that Joe faced in the primaries. Let's give a listen real quick.
I am very excited to present to you a group of people that ran in the 2020 Democratic primary against Joe Biden. You could think of this sort of like Survivor on the out interviews of all the people that got voted off the island.
All right, what do we think of that moment? It made me chuckle. Do you think it was effective?
I think it was. It showed that the Democratic Party is unified. It also showed the diversity of people that ran, which is really one of the core strengths of the party, is that the party is reflective of so many Americans. It's a cross-section of Americans culturally, ethnically, religiously, and as it relates to gender, sexual orientation. So I think it really showed the unity of the party, the unity that everyone's standing behind Joe Biden, which is really great. And they genuinely seem to be standing behind him. It doesn't seem to be about politics.
Yeah, with good nature as well. In the same vein, we heard from former rival Michael Bloomberg. Do you think he added anything to the narrative? What were your thoughts on Michael Bloomberg's address?
So Michael Bloomberg is quite a divisive figure within the Democratic Party, but I will say this. He definitely was a good spokesperson for the failures of the Trump administration because he is an actual billionaire. He is someone who built his fortune from scratch. And so he really talked about, he basically took away the smoke and mirrors around the economy. That's the one thing that Trump continues to tout, where you see some polling that shows that people still think he does pretty well on the economy. And I think Michael Bloomberg is the right person to kind of shatter those misconceptions.
You know, one moment that
especially
really,
given where the economy is
now.
Exactly.
I think that's the truth. Hey, you know, one moment that really stood out for a lot of folks, it was hearing from young Braden Harrington. It was the young boy who stutters, and Joe Biden offers some encouraging advice as a person who also stutters. Let's take a listen to that.
I'm just a regular kid, and in a short amount of time, Joe Biden made me more confident about something that's bothered me my whole life. Joe Biden cared. Imagine what he could do for all of us.
It was a really special moment there, and there were moments where he was trying to speak and he was stuttering as well. What struck you the most about that?
It was so heartwarming. And what struck me the most is that we still deal with bullying in this country, in our schools, on social media, and we deal with the deadly results of bullying in some instances. So I think showing inclusion and having Joe Biden, the former vice president, candidate for president, speak up and have such an impact on the life of a young man like this who struggles, right? Who talked openly about that. I think it's just so powerful for so many in this country. And I think it spoke to the larger theme of this convention. And that theme is about calling us to rise to the occasion and be our best selves as a country and as a people. And I think that moment really crystallized that theme.
Yeah. I thought that was very effective, very inspiring. Overall, what did you think of the convention this year? We've been saying it was an unconventional convention, of course, a virtual format. Overall, do you think it went well?
So as someone who owns a marketing firm and a PR firm who's planned my fair share of events, I have to say, as a marketing professional looking at it, I was enormously impressed with the execution. There's so much that goes into putting an event together. I can't tell you, it's one of the most complicated things that I do with my business. And I will tell you that it was from the production to the theme, to the content, and all the moving parts, all of the people that were involved in participating and speaking. I think it was really impressive and organized. If I was the Biden team Biden, I say, look at what we did with our convention. We can bring that level of organization to our country because it really was impressive. And any of the marketing people watching or event planners watching today, they know.
Well, it's a little bit of a blueprint as well for the future, right? Because this is the world in which we live right now. All right, Tara, thank you so much. We'll see how the Republicans respond to this with theirs, which is coming up not too far away.
When you think of what could have gone wrong, anybody who's been on a Zoom call and they pulled off this convention, that was pretty remarkable. Tara, thanks so much.
Thank you.